Hello everybody, it's Donna. Welcome back to the Playroom. So I am playing with my recipe journal folder that I have all of my leftover bits that I printed off, as well as all of my completed projects that are going to go into a recipe journal, hopefully sometime soon. So I made some recipe cards. You saw that in a previous video. I made some file folders. I think they're just adorable. Can't remember how many I made. Maybe, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, I don't know. Oh, that one stuck together, but that's alright. And then we also made some hidden paper clips, which I think are very cute. They're just cute. I love them. I just love the way they feel. I love everything about them. It's weird, but texture means something, right? Today, I just want to use up some leftover cardstock that I had to make some pockets. Now I already started making these two, and then I have these pieces of paper or cardstock that I think are going to be just big enough to make a couple more pockets out of them, and I might embellish them slightly. I have here the leftover fussy cuts from the kit. The kit was from Create with Scrimping Mommy, by the way, but I think you already all know that already. It's one of her membership perks to her coffee. I think that's what it's called. Coffee, like a subscription, and she uploads at least one journaling kit each month. The value I find is really fantastic. She's probably the only, actually she is the only one that I subscribe to on a monthly basis, because the value, it just is a no-brainer to me. Anyways, so we'll push that off to the side. I know which size I wanted to do these in. I have the size written on the back. But I also found in my stash of dies, these pocket dies. But seriously, it's so easy to make it by hand without using a die cutting machine that I'm not actually even going to use these. At least not now. Now, if I found that I have little scraps left over, I might use the smaller ones, because it is pretty quick and simple to use those. But today I'm not using the dies because there just really isn't any reason to. So I'm going to need my paper trimmer, because I'm starting off with a piece of cardstock 5.5 by 3 3/4. I'm scoring it so that at 1/2 inch, so it's going to end up being 1 inch smaller, so that I can have an actual pocket and not just glue it down flat. So there's actually going to be a little bit of give in there for a little bit of a pocket. The only thing I have to watch, and it's not a concern, it's just it's kind of cool that I don't care about the white here if I'm going to fold it over. So I don't care if I'm measuring from there, as long as the white isn't more than 1/2 inch, and it's not. So it doesn't matter whether I measure from there to there. I hope that made some sense. And I'm also going to need a little circle punch, because that's what I'm going to use to make that circle. I think I gotta grab it, but I think it's right over here. Oh. This is a 1 inch circle punch. Is this the one? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the one I used. I'm not too worried about having it lined up perfectly. I did ink the edges too. Let me grab that just so I don't forget. With vintage photo. And my paper trimmer. I'm just going to bring in my little paper trimmer. And my scoreboard, I guess. So we will cut these to, what did I say, 5.5 by 3 3/4. I'm not totally concerned if they're a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger, because oh shoot, that's not the right size. Nah, I cut that wrong. Oh well, whatever. I'm still gonna make one. Okay, this one, I don't care about this part, but I do want all the bright colors. That one I think I cut at 3.5 instead of 3 3/4. And then 5.5. Ooh. Looks like it is 5.5. Okay. And then this one, same thing. I want it to be 5.5. And then another one at 5.5. Oh, guess that was. Okay, that's fine. And then 3 3/4. I don't want the white on the top because I'm not folding that part over, so 3 3/4. Bring in my scoreboard, and we're going to score on 3 sides, but not the top side, at 1/2 inch on all sides. Okay, so there they all are scored. Yes, I screwed that one up a little bit, but that's okay. And I need my scissors because we're going to miter the corners just a little bit, just so it makes it, I don't get any bulk at the corners. I don't want to, well, that one obviously I printed something else on, but that's okay. You can see from on the back where to cut. I want to cut this part away, but then I want to go kind of in. So just enough so that it's on. It's on. I'm not used to these scissors yet. No, these are way too big for this project, but and then up that way on those 2 corners. Make sure I got it right. Yep. That way, when I fold them in, there's no bulk at those corners. Okay, so those are all done and folded. I just need to add the little circle. I'm not measuring. You can measure it so you're perfectly even, but I don't really care. There used to be a time when I did, but hopefully my eyesight's good enough that I can figure out where approximately the middle is. Some things I do measure if I think it's going to look too odd, but these probably aren't going to be side by side anyway, so if they were, then that might be a little bit different. Let's see. I'm just cutting like not even halfway up, or punching not even halfway up. Okay, so we're going to distress those or ink the edges up a little bit. Okay, so in no time at all, I have an additional 4 pockets, plus the original 2 that I did earlier. Pretty much the same, except for this one, which I screwed up the height, but that's okay. Life's not perfect sometimes. Okay, now the fun part. I think I do want to decorate them just a little bit so that they match the other items. I think maybe just a little bit of drywall tape on some of them. How many do I have? 5. Okay, so I finished decorating my cards, and I just wanted to make sure that my recipe cards did fit in the one way anyways, and they do, because that's why I picked that particular size, to make sure that they would fit without being too loose but still have room. I used the, what do you call that stuff, drywall tape, a little bit of recipe book, old recipe book, as you saw in the video, the Fussy Cats in a Word, all from the kit. I love these dolls. I always have, because to me it reminds me of paper dolls when I was a kid. And you used to cut them out and they'd have little tabs on them. You could fold the tabs over for the clothes so that they would fit. Okay, so that gave me, I think that was, how many, 6? Yeah, that's 6 little pockets for to add to my stash of items. But now I wanted to make, just really quickly, I'm going to show you this. I got this. This is like my pride and joy. To find this in Canada, you have to go to eBay. It's $185. Which is absolutely ridiculous. It's the Tab Whale Tail Punch. I never thought I would ever find it. It is the discontinued Paper Shapers EK Success. I don't know if it was Stampin' Up or not. I actually thought it was, but maybe I'm wrong. Oh yeah, it is. It's Stampin' Up. I guess EK Success used to have some kind of contract with them. I have no idea, but it's old. And they don't make this one. You can get other ones. I have other ones. I have tons of dies. I have other punches like this too. Not quite like this, but this one I really wanted. So today I'm just going to make a few tabs for my recipe journal. Oh, some of them might not work out too well because it's going to be backwards, isn't it? Okay. Because then you fold it over. You know what? I don't think it matters that they're backwards or not, because it's going to be sideways anyways, unless I do it this way. Let's try this one. Oh, that's a little bit better, because they're going to go on the side of a page. Yeah, that way they're not sideways or anything. And once they're inked up, they'll look really cute on a side of a page. Do I have a book here? Apparently not, but they just kind of glue on like this, and then you have that little tab. A lot of times I don't even put, like, I have little tiny labels you can put there for whatever different sections. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this book yet, so other than that, it's going to be a recipe journal, obviously, or really more of a heirloom recipe keeper or whatever. So gonna punch out a few more of those. These are all just scraps that I'm hoping, even if it's upside down or backwards, I really don't care. Because it's so, oops, what is that? It's so easy to make it with this punch, and that's why I was so excited. I got it on Facebook Marketplace for, I can't remember, I think I paid $15 for it. I had to travel like 25 minutes, and not because it's that far away, but because the traffic was really bad that particular day. I know you'll see it in my haul, or you may have already seen it in my haul video. But anyway, so that's what I'm going to be doing tonight, and I hope you will join me in making some wonderful items, and we will catch you next time.